Hey, it's Joe. Here's another video. In this one I want to talk about response rates and what you can expect from this system, and we're emulating this system if you're going to do it manually. If you look at the marketing that I've done on it, it's all over the place, because I've talked about it being higher and lower. Let me show you what one of my accounts is doing right now. Here's an account that we're using where we've sent out about 2,700 emails out of this. We've gotten 132 responses, so it's a 4.87% response rate overall from this account. Now let me actually go into this account and show you the leads and look at the statistics. So if you go to the view more statistics, there's different ways I can search it. I can do custom by putting in the exact dates, or I can look at what went out today, yesterday, this week. Today you're going to get fewer responses because we haven't sent out any. Yesterday, let's do that one first. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Let me go back into these stats again. And if I look at what was happening today, 162 emails have gone out today, but we haven't gotten any responses yet from today. If I look at yesterday, we'll see we got one response out of 103, so that's a terrible response rate. If I look at this week, though, it breaks down to a much higher response rate. So 1,000 emails go out, 55 leads generated, 5.2% response rate. That's an excellent response rate. Anything over 3% is actually pretty good. I've seen it all the way up to 19-20%. But even a 3-4% response rate can make you a lot of money. And this shows you how they break down the leads: unclassified leads, positive leads, negative leads, and positive leads with phone numbers. So this is what we got this week. If I look at last week, that's what I've got, went up to 6.25%. And if I look at last month, it'll show you, pretty much the same response rate. So overall, if we look at our response rates, are right around 5%, which is an excellent response rate on these types of deals. These stats below here are also showing a sort of a thumbnail sketch of what is going out. This is showing how many credits you have in your account and how many of those credits have been used and how many are still available to go out. This is showing that you have 12 days left to go in the billing cycle. So you need to use up your credits within your 30 days or you'll lose those credits because it resets itself at the beginning of the month every month. So you want to use up as many credits as you can. Eventually we're going to automate all this, the queuing and the sending for you, so it'll be easier to use them up without you ever having to come in, and set these mailings queues up. But even now, you only have to do it once a week. You come in, you set the mailing queue, and you send it out. And if you want to send out more than once a week, you're welcome to do that. Or if you want to send out multiples to each email, which I suggest, because sometimes the second or third email to a listing will get a response where the first one did not. So anyway, those are the kind of response rates that we're getting. With this kind of response rate, it should be very easy for someone to do 1, 2, 5 deals a month, depending on your skill in converting these folks and talking to them. So a lot of it has to do with your personal skill in addition to the marketing. The marketing can bring in the people, but if you don't have any skill talking to these people, you're not going to be able to convert them. So you can have a very low conversion rate as far as response rate and still have a very high income from that. Or you can have a very high response rate and have a very low income because you don't know how to convert those by talking to them. And that, by the way, is what the cash flow newsletter is all about. Again, we've got a trifecta of systems here. We've got the system which sends you out the cash flow, this $8 startup program. You get the cash flow newsletter, which you're going to be getting every month with information usually on how to talk to people, how to put your business together, how to deal with those types of things. And you're also going to get a disc every month with new information in it and new training material. Then you've got this Automarketer program that does the mailing for you and does all the stuff that I'm showing you. And then you've got your clone sites, which is what we're using to educate the buyers and sellers that you work with to build your credibility in order to give you the ability to put your listings up online so that people can see them and you can drive traffic to it. So you've got these 3 different systems that have each of them have a bunch of systems inside them that you're working together to create this amazing business that is going to be consistent and reliable and is going to bring in cash flow all the time. So that's why I set up all these things, and I know it looks complicated, but it's really not as bad as you think. All you have to really do here is set up your categories, filter your list, queue it up, and send it out. Start hitting the mailing button, and it'll start sending these things out, and you're going to start getting leads, and it's going to start the snowball rolling, and you're going to get this snowball effect where everything is just sort of comes in at you at once, and you're going to have more on your plate than you can possibly handle. One thing you need to keep in mind in this process, you need to have 8 or 10 hours a week to devote to this process. If you don't have that amount of time, you're probably going to have a hard time succeeding with it, at least getting started with it. I know a lot of people that are putting less time in it than that and making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year without too much problem, even though they're only putting 2 or 3 hours a week into this deal. But that's because they took some time to learn how to do it and get it set up and make the process roll without them. I put in less time than that at it and still bring in a great income from this type of stuff. So you can do the same thing. Don't expect it to happen overnight. Stick with it and keep the ball rolling, and it will bring in all kinds of business for you. This is an exciting system if you'll use it. All right, thanks.